we're talking about this because over the weekend, Tyson Fury's oldest daughter, whose name is Venezuela, what a fabulous name, was proposed to at her own sweet 16th birthday party. Her mum, Paris, who's 35, posted a video of the proposal. You can see it now on her Instagram. And the caption read, "Both only young, but when you know, you know." Look, there he is going down on one knee. That's so sweet. And Paris said, still in shock, but very happy for you both. Now, this has caused quite a stir. Lots of people have waded in on this one, saying 16 is too young to be getting engaged. Now, the couple are going to have to wait till they're 18 to get married, as far as UK law is concerned. Couples do tend to marry younger in the traveller community, and Venezuela's parents got married when her mum was just 19. There's Paris there, getting married to Tyson when she was 19. And her parents have been together for 18 years, and they've got 7 children and give every impression of being extremely happy together. So let's start with Carrie on this one.
I knew you were going to come
children. You know, I'm a big fan of your husband. I think he's fabulous. David Grant, the one and only. Engaged at 16, if one of your children had done that, how would you feel?
I'd be like, hella no.
Would you?
No, yeah. But however, we have to bring into this the culture and tradition. And in the traveller community, they do get married younger. It's a little bit like the conservative Christian communities. If you're not having sex before marriage, they get married earlier. And let's not forget, you know, we'll be celebrating Christmas and Mary was 14. So in different cultures and traditions, it happens at different times.
And Romeo and Juliet were about 12 and 13.
Yeah, exactly. So I think at 16, you probably don't have enough maturity to make that decision. However, these days people stay engaged for like 20 years. So I'd love to know, what does this engagement mean? They've said 2 years, haven't they? So it will be interesting to see. They've got 2 years now to work this stuff out.
But if one of your kids had done this, you would...
No.
You'd say no, or you'd say, well, you're doing it, but I don't approve of it? Or what?
I would say... listen, my children at 16 were very, very young 16, so maybe it's slightly different. I think for me it would be no, but I also think you have to be so savvy as a parent. You have to be able to just double back on yourself and work out what is the best response here to get the best result. So I think there would have been multiple discussions around it.
Well, I think this is the time to come clean and say, when I was 16, I had been going out with the same boy since I was 13, since my 13th birthday.
Yes.
And I was still going out with him when I was 21. I did not marry him. But if he had asked me on my 16th birthday, God, boy, would I have said yes.
Ring.
I was head over heels in love. I mean, I was absolutely besotted. And he used to walk around with a couple of T.S. Eliot's 4 quartets in his pocket. I mean, he had everything I thought a man ought to have. I just thought it was marvellous. And if he'd asked me on my 16th birthday, definitely I would have said yes. Unfortunately, he didn't, so I never know what would have happened. I mean, I was engaged at 22, married at 23, baby at 24.
Wow.
You were?
Met David at 20, engaged at 22, married at 23, baby at 30. 29.
Anthea, you waited a bit longer.
Oh, yeah, I was 30 by the time I married my first husband.
Yeah.
And I just think, though, generally, most of my friends that I grew up with in Stoke-on-Trent were getting married very, very young. In fact, my friend Nicola, she might even be watching, she had a bottom drawer.
So lovely.
Do you remember the bottom drawer?
I do. Bottom drawer had a lovely tablecloth
anything
in
about
it.
No, what's a bottom
Linen,
drawer?
pillowcases.
Pillowcases.
All saving up for when you were married.
Right,
Ready for you. So
I
when you were
see.
married, you moved
And
out of your parents' house.
Did only
with all the lovely
ladies have
things.
a bottom drawer? Or did
Yes.
gentlemen have them as well?
No.
Yes, only girls.
Girls had bottom drawers.
Anatomical.
And then
Nothing to do with your
the
front
boys
bottom or your
just
back bottom.
plundered the bottom drawer.
All right, Albie, we won't go into your relationship history.
I am single.
Single,
Right.
right.
Bottom drawer.
Let's not discuss Albie's bottom any longer. Let's go straight to Margaret in Surrey. Margaret, you met your husband, you were just 16. Margaret?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Yes, I'm married. Hello, I'm here. I met my husband when I was 16.
Yes.
He was in the army. And I only was going out from about 3 months when he was whisked abroad for the Suez crisis.
Yes.
And we wrote to one another every day. And he sent me a letter one day saying, I'm going to send you some money, go out and buy a ring.
Wow.
So in my lunch hour, I went out and bought the ring and went back to the office wearing it.
Yeah.
And everybody said, where has that come from? And I said, I'm engaged. Wow. And they said, but your boyfriend is in Egypt. I said, yes, I know, but he's asked me to buy the ring. Anyway, cut a long story short, we got married at 18 and we were married 67 years. He was 90 when he died. He was 7 years older than me. And I said to him, he always used to say to me, you'll never be as old as me. Well, I am 90 now.
Wow.
And I said on my 90th birthday, well, I am now as old as you. And I still wear my wedding ring.
Oh, Margaret, what a beautiful love story. May I ask you something? Venezuela's mum, Paris, says they are young, but when you know, you know. Is that how you felt about your husband?
I never, during my whole lifetime...
Are you okay?
I never, during my lifetime with him, ever met or saw a man that I thought was better.
Really?
He was 6 foot tall. He was handsome. He had a wonderful smile, and I loved him to pieces.
Oh, how
I
lovely.
nursed him at home. During his last 5 years, and he died at home. He said to me he never wanted to go into a nursing home or hospital, and I promised he wouldn't, and I looked after him.
Well, you were a wonderful wife to him. There's no question about that. What a beautiful story. Margaret, I really appreciate that. So obviously Margaret doesn't think 16's too young. No. You know, 16, if you know, you know, presumably. Yeah. Let's go to Harry in Essex. Harry, maybe you feel a bit differently about getting engaged at 16.
100% I do. To be honest with you, I think I appreciate that maybe there was a time that when people at 16 could get engaged, meet each other and have a relationship, and that relationship could last for a very long time. But the world is a different place now. Social media, just everything that surrounds us, what children have to be exposed to, what they have to think about, just like their life. When I was 16, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was figuring things out. I didn't know myself. My decision-making skills back then were drastically different from how I am now.
How old are you now, Harry? How old are you now?
Oh, I'm going on to being 35 in November. Okay. I met my wife when I was 24 after I graduated. You know, we had our first kid. He's going to be 4 this year. So I think I've kind of followed a bit more of a generic sort of path there. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I do fully appreciate that when I was 16, if I met a girl when I was 16 and what I considered to be love was completely different, you know, that's childish in comparison. So your
little girl now, your little one who's 4, if she would just happen to meet someone at school or, you know, at the youth club or at church or I don't know where she might go. And on her 16th birthday, he asked her to marry him and she said yes. How would you feel about that?
So I've actually got a son, not a girl. But as in, if I'm honest with you, if he was 16, he met a girl and he wanted to take those steps, I think I'd fully advise that, you know what, maybe hold off. By all means, stay in a relationship, you know, see how that matures in time as him and that girl make a decision through their life and, you know, kind of build on their relationship. Mm-hmm. But you don't go as far as to maybe, you know, put a ring on it. And then, because what that symbolizes, I think, is a bit more stronger as well.
Harry, thank you very much indeed. So Harry was 35, did he say, when he got... Yeah, let's go, he's 35 now. Let's go to Wendy in Carmarthenshire. Wendy, you can identify with this story.
Yes. I met my husband when I was just turned 16. We got engaged when I was 16, married at 18, and we'd been together 40 years until he passed away during the COVID.
So another really beautiful love story.
Yes.
What did your parents say, Wendy, when you got engaged so young?
Well, to be honest with you, it was only my mother that was alive, and Edward, my husband, he was such a character. You either liked him or you didn't, because he was a bit arrogant sort of thing. And he arranged everything. He told my mother we were getting married. He never asked me to get married. Even to the day he died, he never asked me. He just assumed he was getting married.
So how did you know about getting the dress and, you know, asking people round and celebrating if he didn't even ask you?
What happened was he bought the ring. I thought it was a friendship ring, and he said, "Put it on your engagement finger. You're engaged." And I came home. From work, and he'd spoken to my mother. He had arranged the day. He'd phoned the vicar to make an appointment for us to go down to see them. And then I was going into prenuptia in the shop in Swansea.
I remember prenuptia, of course.
To get my wedding dress. And from the day he asked me, I was treated as, well, he didn't ask me, the way they told me, I was treated as a princess. I never took out the rubbish bin. I never took out shopping.
Wow.
Nothing. He used to say to me, I've been put on this earth to look after you.
Oh, Wendy, come on.
Gorgeous.
Gosh, anyone who doesn't believe in true love should watch this show. This is lovely.
I could tell you so much. And we've got 2 sons we miss him terribly. Terribly, we miss him.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Gosh, he sounds like such an enormous personality, Wendy. A really incredible man.
He was. He would walk into a room and there could be 1,000 people in this room. He wouldn't say hello to anybody until he found me. Then he'd stand by me and talk to me, and then he would address everybody else. It was hello then after he'd seen me.
He really sounds like a gentleman, and he sounds as if he was just completely, totally in love with you, doesn't he?
Yes, and Wendy, no doubt you're very proud of your sons because they have had a great father to follow. So your sons' girlfriends are absolutely going to be in clover like you.
Wendy, what a great call, and so much love to you, and such a beautiful story, really heartwarming and wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's go to Ian in Cornwall. Ian, what do you think about getting engaged at 16?
Well, the thing is, my then girlfriend was 16 and I was just 17 when we got married.
Whoa. And how did that go down with the family and friends and everything?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. Her family and my family was absolutely brilliant over it. No one moaned, no one went up in the air and started screaming and shouting. They said, you two do what you feel you have to do. Whatever you decide to do, we will back you. And they did that, and that was fantastic. And as the years went by, we had the most gorgeous, gorgeous daughter.
How wonderful. Tell me something. You were so young. How did you have the confidence? How did you have the sort of self-knowledge to know she's the one and I'm going to commit to her for the rest of my life?
Well, unfortunately, it didn't last for the rest of our lives. And I wish it had done. But it lasted 8 years. And since then, we've got together, or the whole family's got together. It's a big family celebrating 1, 2, 3 different things all over the country, different families over the country, everywhere. And she turned around to me and she said a few years ago, she said, do you know what? I've never, ever regretted anything.
Oh, how nice. God, cool. My heart's warmed. It's really, I feel like a totally different person from when I started this show. I've totally changed. I've changed completely. Let's go to Susan in Glasgow. Yes. Susan, you may have a different tale to tell. Thank you for ringing.
Yeah. I met my first husband when I was 13 at school, and we got engaged at 16 and married at 20, and everything was great. I didn't feel too young at the time. Had 2 children, but it wasn't till later in my marriage, within 5 years, that my husband then discovered that he was gay.
Oh.
And I was left with my 2 children myself. So I just felt that sometimes it's just too young. You may feel ready at the time, but some people need time to grow into who they are as a person.
Do you think your husband had sort of known all along, or do you think he genuinely had no idea, or what do you think was going on?
No, I don't, because it used to be called Casanova right through primary. He's always had girlfriends, always had people in his girls in his life. I really don't. It was just after the children were born, that's when I felt there was a difference there. Something wasn't quite right.
And you think if you'd just waited and he'd waited, he might have kind of realised and cottoned on a bit to what he was really thinking and feeling. I appreciate the call, Susan. Lots of love to you. Let's go to Evelyn in Worcestershire. Evelyn, you were 19.
We were 14 when we first passed paths. And at 15 we met officially. At 19 we married, and he died in 2018.
I'm sorry.
So we were together 70 years plus.
Goodness gracious. Evelyn, wow. Tell me about, a little bit about the kind of man he was and what it was about him that you fell for so profoundly.
He was a wonderful man, and I miss him. And But he was absolutely wonderful. We had 3 sons, and they adored him. He was the most generous of people. His grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, absolutely put a baby in his arms, and he was a happy man.
Oh, how lovely. Wow. What a lovely thing to say about him. So to the Furies, you know, Venezuela, who's just got engaged at 16, do you think, Evelyn, if she knows her own mind, she's got every chance of being very happy indeed?
Well, I was. And still, you know, I mean, it was just a wonderful life. We struggled, as you did. It was wartime. Everything was rationed. I was 94 just on the 25th of this month.
Oh, happy birthday for then. Gosh. Evelyn, what a lovely story. What a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for ringing. Very kind of you to do it. Thank you. Let's talk to Lynn in East Yorkshire. Oh, Lynn, you were also engaged at 16.
Yes, I was. Yes. Yeah. I first saw him when I was 14.
Yeah.
And fell in love with him, but he was engaged at the time. So I just waited patiently. His engagement broke off. I went up to him and asked him if he wanted a date, and he said he did. And we've been together ever since.
When you say you waited patiently, I mean, what made you think that he wouldn't go off and marry the other one?
No, I knew we were supposed to be together.
What, just in your head? You just felt that?
Yes, yeah, in my head, yeah, we were. And he used to walk down the high street with her and always look at me and smile, and I always knew that we were going to be together one day.
Amazing. But how do you think he realised that you were? Oh, because you asked him on a date in the end. You went up to him.
I did. Yes, I did. I knew what I wanted, and it was him. And and as I say, we were engaged. We got together 64. We married in 66.
Yeah.
Had our first daughter in 67, and we're still happily married today.
Oh well, I'm so glad to hear it, Lynn. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, would you say 16 is by no means too young?
No, not if it's the right man. I mean, you know, as that lady said, you know when you know.
Yeah, when you know, you know. That's what Venezuela's mum said. When you know, you know. It's a bit young, but when you know, you know. And also, there are 16-year-olds and 16-year-olds, aren't there?
There are. I think I might have changed my mind.
Yes.
I think I might have changed my mind. Before this, I thought I was going to say, no, it's ridiculous.
You're not supposed to blow your own trumpet. You're not supposed to say that this is you lot pipe down. Not supposed to say that this was a great programme, but I think this was a fantastic programme today.